thought the body language kind of changed when they kind of came back at you guys a little bit. What did you see late in the third and in the fourth that kind of turned things around against you guys?
I was just kind of talking to some guys. This is one I actually really need to see the film to understand how I got away from us so quick and what our body language was like and how our energy was. And we had a couple untimely turnovers. We had situations where they're in better position for offensive rebounds than we were for defensive rebounds. And, you know, they really put their foot down, you know, down the stretch or towards the middle of the fourth quarter, made it a game. And a couple shots go down, and there's some tough ones for them, and then they get over the hump. So just a tough way to lose tonight, but one that I think is all correctable just off of focus on not getting too comfortable down the stretch of games.
Steph, last year you guys in crunch time. What would you say is wrong with the crunch time offense this year?
Honestly, if you look at this game, I mean, we can answer that question, but the reason it's a game down the stretch is not because of our offense. I mean, you give up a 24-point lead, it doesn't matter, you know, how many shots you miss. You got to get some stops eventually. So we still got to get better. There's no denying that. With just the looks that we want to go to, the flow and timing and aggressiveness of executing those plays, and just being sure that we know what we want to get out of every possession. Tonight it was a combination of bad defense and looking up the score and kind of seeing the lead window down and rushing a little bit.
How much of a problem was stagnation in that fourth, just kind of staying around at times?
I mean, the fourth is hard to really get body movement, but we try to pick up some mismatches. I think just going over the game in my head, if we could find ways to just get penetration like we did in the first quarter, that would put us in better position, I think, to promote a little bit more ball movement. But it was tough. We were missing free throws, open threes. Get beat on 50-50 balls down the stretch. It was all bad.
In some of these late game situations, teams have been switching on you. You got some good matchups. You had one against Gasol. KD had one against Zebo. Is that good enough to just say, all right, we got this switch, we're going to attack now, or does there need to be more than that?
I mean, simple is better in those situations. We got talent, and we got scorers, we got finishers, so if you can get those kind of mismatches, that's what the NBA is about, just making plays. It's a make-or-miss league in that situation. So I live with those opportunities. Whether you settle for jumpers, get to the lane, that's kind of on whoever's in that situation. You got to just find a way to get it done. But if you're talking, me, Clay, KD going against one of their bigs in that situation with a little bit of space, I like that.
Steph, in the first, you guys really were, your cuts were sharp, and the pick and roll, you guys working the pick and roll really nicely. And down the stretch, it looked like you had a hard time doing that. Was fatigue a factor? It looked like maybe the cuts weren't as sharp, and you guys just weren't quite as forceful in the fourth and overtime.
I think it's just we got a little. I mean, honestly, I think we got a little deflated just in that middle of the fourth quarter when you see we look up and what happened to the lead, and they're getting offensive rebounds and things like that, and it's just we didn't have that kind of force that we needed. And maybe one or two plays when they get into single digits that can gain some momentum that could have sealed the deal with plenty of time left, but we just weren't able to grab a hold of anything. So I don't think fatigue was a factor at all. It was just no possession was really going our way. We couldn't manufacture really anything on the defensive end to give ourselves an opportunity.
KD told him on that second to last play in regulation that he should have run pick and roll. When you and KD were sort of standing there at that play? Is that what you were sort of trying to figure out?
Yeah, I don't know how much time was on the shot clock. It was me and KD and Mike Conley and Zebo, so trying to manufacture a mismatch or switch out of that situation. But we got to do it with more force. It was kind of just kind of lollygagging into it. Obviously, KD, takes that shot, he makes it, thinks it's a little different. Same with me in a couple shots I made. But if we execute it with force, knowing what we want to get out of the possession, and everybody's on the same page, it might look a little different. So, yeah, the timing wasn't great at all, and I think there's a little bit of uncertainty as to what we were trying to get out of that possession.
Last one, Ryan.
You guys have to play 48 minutes to play a basketball game. I mean, how much can you learn from a game like this, or was this maybe not a deflating loss, but a loss you guys can learn from?
No, we'll definitely learn from it. The sucky feeling going into the locker room tonight, but what we found tomorrow, understanding there's some common threads of how we lost this game, Christmas Day game, some other leads that we need to get stops. We need to put together focus for 48 minutes, and continue to look at our down the stretch fourth quarter play call and execution. And there's no panic at all. It's just you go through these hiccups and these road bumps, and you pokes air out the balloon a little bit. But that's what the regular season is for. Last year, I don't think we had many opportunities to kind of self-assess and look ourselves in the mirror and see where we were at, just riding that wave. So got to approach this season differently, and we'll learn some lessons and wins, but we're gonna have some tough ones too, and got to bounce back.
Great, thank you. Appreciate it.